welcome to another journal share. This is my second journal, and this one's been based on a vintage sewing theme. It was for a swap over at Junk Journal Junkies, our Facebook group. Okay, we've given it a bit of a quilting effect on the front cover of my journal. I'm a quilter, so that was the natural way to go for this cover, and then adding all the embellishments inside. So I've sort of based it on like just a really basic quilting pattern, and instead of fabric I've used just paper, obviously, and then done like the tops and then a center section and then prairie points, just to give it just some added dimension. They do pop up. Excuse the hands. Life is about creating yourself, and that is absolutely what this whole journal is all about. Not only from a sewing perspective, but just doing what you want and making it happen. On the side, we had to add a charm. Oops. Now, charms aren't my best. They're so fiddly. But I think I've managed to create something really nice on this. This journal has 5 signatures, but 3 of the signatures are full length. 4 of the signatures are half, so you can. It's really hard to say, but hard to see, but you'll know when we get through inside. You'll be able to see what's happening. It's just a ribbon closure. On the inside, there's a pocket. And the first pocket has just some little fabric suffix puffs and buttons. Fabric and buttons were 2 of the requirements for this book. Here I've just added just a little file folder, and inside the file folder, I've actually added this pattern. It's an actual stitchery applique pattern, so hopefully the recipient is able to stitch, and if she doesn't, hopefully she'll have a friend that she can gift the pattern onto. It's called The Sewing Room, and it's by Janet Rowe of Wildcraft Farm here in Australia, and it's just a sewing. All the instructions are here. Wow, but I've actually put the wrong ones in, but that's okay. I'll fix that up before I send it. Although that one's called Buttons and Spools, and that's just, it still fits in the theme. Okie dokie. This is our first full signature. It's just a lot of papers I've used from my collection. Some of them are from Kaiserkraft. Some are from Bow Bunny. They're the main 2 collections I've used. Some have just been spare paper, and plenty of coffee dyed papers in here also. Tuck spots. There's a doily tuck spot. We also had to do stitching in our journals. Oops. My sewing machine, it has not been used for a while, and that and paper, it just did not want to go together. But it gave it a raggy look, and I was quite happy with how that turned out. Just tag, tuck spot, plenty of journaling real estate throughout this book. But you've got blank pages, you've also got lined and graph paper. Just a tag, and on the back of the tag I've just inked all over with walnut stain, is the ink I've used throughout this book. And I've actually put some stamping just to create some stamp lines and journal lines, which was like a tape measure. Some text paper, some more Estelle Getty text paper. Tuck spot, actually a tuck spot with some stitching down the side. An envelope, and it's created a pocket down the side, and there's some little lace, which was another requirement of the swap. Another pocket, just a photo mat or a journaling mat. Some trim. Could either use lace or ribbon or trim as part of the requirements, and I've used a bit of each. An envelope pocket. Oops, sorry. That's a little pocket with some buttons and a little tape measure embellishment. More spots for journaling. Tuck spots, which is actually an envelope washi tape, and that's the other part of the envelope. Pocket, the fabric of life. I'll put in the description a list of all the papers that all the collections that I've used throughout this. Just a pocket. This is only half pocket and only goes as far as here. I was making something and I forgot that I was using tape and not glue. I've glossy accented and washi taped on the outside with a pair of scissors. Tags, some stamped image tags. Some embellishments that were out of the Kaiserkraft sewing kit, and the name escapes me at the moment. Okay, so that's the end of the first signature. Now we go into our half signatures. So now that's a half, and that's the other half. Still measures the same slightly, but just added a different interest, and I've coordinated the papers. So like in the next lot of half signatures, the blue will be at the top and the pattern piece will be at the bottom. Just a little tuck spot, buttons, more buttons. Each of the half signatures has a pocket, and these two pockets have some special fabric ATC cards that were made by my mother-in-law from a swap that we'd done, and so that was just a nice touch, and that added a different way of adding fabric to this book, to this journal. Besides, instead of just laying fabric down, I've actually used it as flowers and then as the ATC cards. And then the rest is just journaling and tuck spots in the signatures. Then we go back to a full signature again. Tuck spot, pocket. Tuck spot with lace doily and stitching. More trim down the side. Pocket, just a little more journaling note paper and just a little hidden embellishment from Kaiser's collection. Some sewing pattern paper. Sorry about the glare. Coffee dyed. Some more trim. And a little tuck there. Another tuck spot with a tag, and the tag has a tuck spot, and that's also been inked on the back. Sometimes I coffee dye the backs of, like if I've got white paper. This time I just used inks. Another envelope. The other side of the envelope, and that envelope has a little journal book, and each of the plain papers has a stamped image from a Donna Downey collection. This one says she remained true to herself. She designed a life she loved. There's one more. And she saw every ending as a new beginning. And that's just like a little hidden messages, secrets that you can keep inside your journal, because it's in a nice little tuck spot in this envelope pocket. More of the sewing pattern paper. They're really old. Didn't have to do too much. This is just out of an old diary. It was a quilting diary. It wasn't necessarily the colour scheme, but I just like the picture. And it is a pocket, but obviously I will need to glue that back down again. It's only taped down. Anyway, more text paper and a tuck spot on the other side. That's the end of the middle signature. Then we go into our half signatures again. Again, we have a fabric Suffolk puff and some buttons, and then a tuck spot up the top here. So again, half signature, pockets each side, pocket, but we can add some more tags inside, and this is just again coffee dyed, lined and graph paper and plain paper. Actually lined and plain paper. No, there's no graph paper in this. I've left that for the full signatures. So that was just my little twist on a full signature. quite easy to do, just a bit fiddly, but it basically worked the same as adding your signatures. You just had to have different little holes to stitch through is all. And then we come to our last signature, which is just patterned paper, graph paper. Again, tuck spot with the doily. And if the recipient, which my recipient is Linda, she lives in Idaho, if she wants to get some gesso and gesso over it, and then or add photos, more than welcome to. I just leave it and then leave it up to my swap partner to decide how she wants to further embellish the paper. Tuck, tuck, for tag, stamped image, and this is another envelope, tag down this side, lace trim, journal, ring space, another little pocket. Oops, sorry. Yeah, a little pocket here. Envelope pocket, and then that's the center of the journal. Tuck. Pocket. Another pocket. And then doily. And then, whoops, I want to get into another little tag. That was from another swap. Oops, a tag swap with some beautiful trim. And then on the back, I've just added some lined paper and a stamp that says "For You." Because it's always nice to add that final touch that to you when you're swapping journals with another person, just to add that little sentiment, because you have made it for someone special, whether it's someone you know or a new friend that you haven't met. And that's what I like, just to add that little personal touch. Sometimes it's a little tag I've made, sometimes it might be a little saying at the bottom, but I try and make it different because each journal is individual and it's being gifted to a new friend. And the very last on the back cover, which is really special, I've made just a little half circle with decorated it with a doily and some buttons and some glitter paper, and then there were 3 different little cut out cardboard tags that were spools, and I don't know if you can see this, but each, my hands are going to get in the way, but there was thread like that was printed actually on the tag. And what I've done, oops, and I can't even get, oops, what I've done is I've just tried to coordinate the fabric as close as possible to the thread colour and wrapped it up, and those colours actually matched through the journal, 3 of them, and it's like a nice little tuck spot, and I really like that. And the back is just a carryover from the front cover, just to look like a quilt. Okay, hopefully this is only a quick video. I've absolutely enjoyed this, and Linda, I hope you love this journal when you get it. I can't wait for you to receive it. It's going off in the post in the morning, and I can't wait till you get it. Okay, everyone, thank you for stopping by and watching this little share, and I hope that you get as much pleasure out of making your journals and gifting them to other people as I do. Okay, take care and catch you later. Bye.